Today I'm going to be sharing with you some of our favorite pizza topping ideas. Now we eat pizza almost every week, or maybe every other week depending on if there's a busy week, maybe we'll give it a skip. But we love pizza in this house, and so I just had to figure out how to make some homemade pizza because it'd be way too expensive if we bought pizza every week. And so I quickly had to learn how to make some of our own pizzas so that we can have as much pizza as we want and add any of our own flavors and toppings, which is actually a part of the fun, figuring out what kind of combinations work well together. So I think as long as you have a good dough recipe, a good tomato sauce, you can add whatever kind of toppings and get creative and try making a delicious tasting pizza. I'm going to share with you some of our favorite toppings in this video, so let's get started. Usually it happens that I'm out grocery shopping once a week or so, and so I'll pick whatever items from our grocery list to top with our pizza, and so I'll usually, by the end of the week, use whatever is left over in the fridge or in the pantry and add that as toppings for our pizza. Or if I have enough time, I'll stop into a little Italian store which has some delicious pizza toppings, which if you don't know, the Italians are the ones who are said to have figured out the delicious pizza, so it makes sense that they would have some delicious toppings as well as cheese. So sometimes I stop there and get a few items like salami or kielbasa, whatever they've kind of got in their fridge, to give that a go. But sometimes I just use things that we have on hand, like if I recently made a chicken, I'll use that, or if we finished a roast this week and there's some leftovers, I'll use that as a topping. So pretty open for whatever can go on a pizza. It's basically a bread that you can add anything on top of if you think about it like that. So the pizza world is your oyster, but I'm going to show you some of our 6 combinations that we've recently made that you may be interested in to be inspired to go make some of your own homemade pizza. If you're interested, I'll leave some links below to a delicious pizza dough recipe, which is ready on the same day if you need that. And then I'll also link a recipe to a delicious tomato pizza sauce, which is quite a thing to get the hang of. You know, you don't want a too runny sauce, but you also want it flavorful enough that it will be delicious on a pizza. So I think this recipe is really great. So if you want those, you can find the links down below. One of the tips I can give you is to have your oven as hot as possible. So we put ours very high. I mean, it's 500 degrees Fahrenheit, which makes some people really scared. That is a very high temperature. But you're just making pizza for a couple of minutes. It's not going to stay that way for very long. So 500 degrees Fahrenheit, have your oven very, very hot. Tip I can give you is to put your pizza stone right in the oven to preheat with your oven, so that way when you are taking it out of the oven, your pizza stone is already hot, and this helps the pizza dough not to stick to the pizza stone, so definitely I recommend. First up, we've got the pancetta topped with mushrooms, jalapeno peppers, sweet pea microgreens, and mozzarella cheese. This pizza tastes delicious because pancetta is a fancy kind of bacon bits, which bacon just goes good on everything. So I've started with this because it is a favorite. We love bacon in this house, but we don't eat it very often, except when we treat ourselves like this pizza with this fancy pancetta. I top that with some mushrooms and jalapeno green peppers just to give it that little bit of kick. And then I've put on some sweet pea microgreens so you can get more greens in that vegetable mix on this pizza. And then of course a layer of mozzarella cheese just to finish it all off. Mwah! What a good pizza. Now another tip is have your pizza really close to the top. Iron pieces, I don't really know what they're called, but basically where all the heat is coming from, have it really close to that. Not touching, but very close. And you'll see ours is scooted up almost right to the top. Now next we're going to do something a bit more out there. This pizza is topped with anchovies, spinach, red pepper, which is just bell peppers, but red, Caciocavallo cheese, which is a very delicious Italian cheese for a pizza. It makes for that really stringy cheese when you're eating a pizza, and it kind of stretches out with these long cheese strings. This is the cheese that they're using, and it is so good. It not only is a nice soft cheese, which is easy for the appetite, but it works really well on a pizza. It's quite a delicious addition to this mix. The anchovies is definitely a bit out there. It's different, very salty, brings that sea flavor right to your pizza, and some may like that, some may not love that so much. It is a bit different, and I think if I could add anything else, I may even add in something like a pear or an apple, just to kind of counter that salty with a little bit of a fresh, mild taste. The peppers do it, but not the full bang that I'm looking for, but still overall this is a great pizza. My husband loves anchovies, so this is a good anchovy little mix, and you may even push it a little further by adding something, like I said, a pear or an apple if you are daring. Now with a very hot heat and with your pizza very close to the top of the oven, This will only take 10 minutes and then your pizza is ready to go. So you're not keeping it at this heat for very long. Keep a close eye on your pizza. You don't want to let it burn. But this should go very, very quickly. Next, we're doing salami. We've got regular salami and then a spicy salami, which is alternated here. So each bite gets a little bit of subtle salami and also the spicy, which this salami is very spicy. I've paired that with some sweet pea microgreens and mozzarella cheese. Now this pizza doesn't need much more on it because the salami really is a combination of so many good flavors. In between pizzas, when I just finished making a pizza and I'm making another one, I'll take the pizza off of the hot pizza stone and then I'll right away use this hot pizza stone to start the next pizza. Again, that hot pizza stone is going to help that dough not stick to the pizza stone. Now who can eat so many pizzas in one night? So we stopped it here for one evening and continued the next evening with the next pizzas. And up next, we make the chicken alfredo pizza, which I love chicken alfredo, so of course pair that with a pizza and I'm so happy. With that, I've added some caramelized onions, spinach, and mozzarella cheese. Mwah! One of my favorite pizzas. I love this so much. So if you've got any extra chicken laying around, add a bit of alfredo sauce, caramelize some onions, add whatever kind of greens you have, spinach, kale, sweet pea, microgreens, and top it off with some cheese, and this is just one delicious pizza. We brush our tomato sauce right up into the edge of the dough. That way, even if the toppings isn't covering the entirety of the pizza, that crust will be delicious, flavored with tomatoes still, because we are covering the entire dough with tomato. So not just the center, but the entire pizza dough is covered in tomato sauce. Add all your toppings and put the cheese right at the top. That way it just kind of will provide a coating for all of the, especially leafy things. But it's good to have everything coated in cheese, because if it's super high up close to that hot element, the pieces that are sticking up won't sear, but they'll be kind of coated with the cheese. So the cheese should be going on very last on your pizza. on to the next pizza. I had some leftover roast, and I paired my roast with some avocado and dried figs, which I sliced, and then some delicious Casio-Cavallo cheese. Now this pizza is definitely up there, of course. If you make a good roast in your pressure cooker in the oven, that already just tastes good by itself. But adding a little bit of creamy avocado with the fig sweetness is just a delicious combo, and of course topped with cheese. What can go wrong? This is a delicious pizza. And now last but not least, our very own homemade Hawaiian pizza. Now you can just use ham, but when I was in the Italian store I picked up some capicolo. I think that's how you say it, probably missaying it. But that is pretty similar to ham and it tastes so good. I topped it with the traditional pineapples and mozzarella cheese, and this pizza speaks for itself. There's a reason it's favorite in the world. It is just so good by itself, and I think maybe one day I will do a variety of Hawaiian pizzas with some other additions to see if we can kind of give a kink on the Hawaiian. But this was a delicious pizza and it needs to be included here because it's so easy to make at home. You can buy pineapple, get some ham or capicolo if you've got a little Italian store close by, top it with basic mozzarella cheese, and you've got a pizza. So it's got to be on this list. We love Hawaiian in this family. I hope that you got some new pizza topping inspirations or refreshed from some new ones, or you're just really craving pizza now and inspired to go make some homemade pizza. And if that's you, remember those links are down below if you need the dough or the tomato sauce, and I'll also link some recipes for some of these creations that we made here today. And if you like this content, please stick around, subscribe to our channel, and catch some of my upcoming videos. Alright, see ya, bye.